Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, good afternoon. So we are talking. Last week we finished about command to the others, Inyasamana. So today we'll talk about 40 akusala cetasika. 40 akusala cetasika. Then later we'll talk about 25 beautiful factors, sopana. So we have a 40 akusala cetasika according to Abhidhamma. We call it unwholesome mental factors. So they are negative mental state or negative emotion in our mind. So they will create negative effect in our daily life. So this is a akusala cetasika. Number 1, delusion, moha. Number 2, shamelessness, ahirika. Number 3, fearlessness of wrongdoing. You can see the book. Huh? You can see in the book. Fearlessness of wrongdoing. And the number 4, restlessness, uddhacca. And then better look at the book because now we are going to divide 40 akusala. Page number 79. 79. Page number 79. So when you look at 40 akusala cetasika, and then Bhikkhu body also trying to categorize. So up to now, 4. These 4 mental factors are called unwholesome universes. Unwholesome universes. Because they associate with all unwholesome cetas. We have 12 unwholesome cetas, right? So these 4, delusion, shamelessness, and fearlessness of wrongdoing, and restlessness. So these 4 mental factors are called unwholesome universes. Unwholesome universal cetasika. Because they associate with all 12 unwholesome, right? All 12 unwholesome. So the rest can be called unwholesome occasionals. Occasionals. Because they were associated with only some cetas, occasionally. Occasionally. So, 40 akusala ceta is roughly divided into 2. So the first 4, we call it unwholesome universes because they were associated with all 12 unwholesome ceta, right? Unwholesome cetas. So the rest can be called unwholesome occasionals. Unwholesome occasionals. Because they associate with only some ceta occasionally. Okay? You can see page number 79. 79. Bhikkhu body divided 2 roughly, right? The number 5 is greed, lobha. Number 6, wrong view, deity. Number 7, conceit. Mr. Rupakatin, Mr. Rupakathin, he translate comparing mind. Very beautiful. I like it, comparing mind. It is also literal meaning of mana. Literal meaning of mana is comparing. Normally we try to compare with other people, right? On the train, you compare with the people around you. In your job, even at the temple, right? The comparing mind is happening most of the time. So here I use egocentric comparison. Sometimes we compare with the wisdom, It's not a mana, according to Abhidhamma. If you compare with the somebody, with the wisdom, or with the mindfulness, not called mana. Later we'll explain. So, greed, wrong view, conceit, lobha, ditthi, mana. About 3 major factors are counted under lobha group. Under lobha group, we call it lobha group because they somehow related to greed. So, wrong view, conceit, they are related to lobha. So therefore, we were trying to categorize. So this is a lobha group. 40 akusala cetasika. So the first 4 universal, unwholesome universal, right? Unwholesome universal. So lobha, ditthi, mana, these 3 we will call it lobha group, right? Because these 3, one way or another, connected with the lobha. The next one, hatred, dosa, envy, asa, avarice, macharia, worry, kokocha. So these 4 major factors are counted under the dosa group because they are one way or another related to dosa. You worry about your job. You worry about your children, etc. It's one way or another connected with the dosa. You have a jealousy with somebody, is connected with the dosa, like that, right? So therefore, we'll call it dosa group. These 4, hatred, envy, avarice, worry, we'll call it dosa group. Dosa group. And the last 3, sloth, torpor, and doubt. Sloth and torpor are connected to each other, these 2, but doubt is another one. But we will call it the last 3 for easy remembrance. So if you count 40 akusala cetasika, it's not easy to remember, right? But if you categorize, if you divide 4 groups, it became very easy, So the first 4, we call it unwholesome universals because they associate with all unwholesome akusala cetas. Unwholesome cetas. Then lobha, ditthi, mana, so we will call it lobha group because these 3 are connected and related to each other, related to lobha. And hatred, envy, avarice, worry, dosa, asa, macharia, kokocha. These 4, we call it dosa group because they are, one way or another, related to dosa. So sloth and torpor, they will come together normally, and doubt. So these 3 are named as the last 3. Right? So if we divide 40 akusala cetasika into 4 groups, it's easier to remember, right? Easier to remember. So now let's see. So the last 4, delusion, shamelessness, fearlessness of wrongdoing, restlessness, unwholesome universal. In other words, we will call it moha group. Moha group, right? So next one is Lobha group, greed, wrong view, conceit. In other words, egocentric comparison. This is a Lobha group, and we also have a Dosa group, hatred, avarice, envy, worry. Is a Dosa group, and the last three, sloth, topa, and doubt. Altogether, 40 akusala cetasika. Okay, so we'll learn one by one. So the first one is delusion, moha. Delusion, moha. So the word moha derived from the root muha. Like in monshati. Monshati means to confuse or to perplex. So moha means delusion and perplexity in the object. Perplexity. Delusion in our mind. If you have a delusion in your mind, you do not know the truth. You do not know the truth. Delusion. So here, we need to know one word, avijja or avijja, ignorance. It is a synonym of moha. Synonym of moha. In Paticcasamuppada, we have avijja, right? Ignorance. Because of our avijja, because of ignorance, we do sankhara, right? We do sankhara. So avijja and moha, so they are synonym. They are synonym. Avijja comes from the root avijja. Vijja means knowing. Vijja means knowing. Which means avijja means not knowing. Not knowing the truth. Not knowing the true nature of mind and body. Mind and body. That is avijja. People want to go to heaven because they don't know the truth nature of heaven, heavenly realm, and the life of devas. Therefore, they want to go. That is avijja, not knowing, right? Not knowing, and they do wholesome deed, good deed, to go to heaven. So therefore, when the Buddha taught to the monks who will go missionary trip, all of them are arahants. All of them are, as you know that, 60 arahants, they will go propagation of Buddha's teaching, right? So when the Buddha is talking to them, the Buddha said that, monks, you and I, you all and I, are free from saneya. Saneya means attachment, no? Attachment to human life as well as the life of deva. The life of deva. We escape from any type of attachment, any type of snares. So go to different places to disseminate his teachings. There may be some people that they understand his teachings out of compassion. And out of compassion for them and for the welfare and happiness of those people, go missionary trip. Missionary trip. So that means all the 60 arahants and the Buddha, they no longer have any attachment to heaven, heavenly life. They don't have any attachment to becoming a Brahma like that, right? They no longer have any craving. Because they know the truth. The true nature of life, right? So therefore, avijja means not knowing the truth. Not knowing things in their true nature. True nature. So that means delusion, moha, and ignorance, avijja are synonyms. So here I have one question. Is there any difference between moha and avijja? So I was asked one of the students from this class, John, it me 3 months ago, and she asked question. I told her I will teach in the class. And she asked, "Good morning, Bhante. Can I please ask a question? Is there any difference between avijja and moha? Is there any difference?" So earlier I said that it's synonym, right? They're synonym. But there is of course, there's some difference. There's some difference. I want to clarify a little bit. Moha versus avijja. So they are often used as a synonym. Synonym. So here I add one sutta on avijja nivarana sutta from Itiodaka Pali. Itiodaka Pali, sutta number 40. So in that sutta, the Buddha used avijja nivarana, ignorance, hindrance. But also the Buddha used the word moha. Same place, same place. So therefore, they are often used as a synonym. So they are interchangeably used. But they have a different meaning. So here, so moha, delusion, avijja, ignorance, right? Ignorance, different meaning. When there is an ignorance, avijja, ignorance means not knowing the truth. Not knowing the truth. Not knowing the things in their true nature. If you do not know the true nature of your body, you will attach it, you will attach that body, right? And when you do not know the true nature of the body of other people, you will attach, right? So therefore, not knowing the truth, nature of mind and body, not knowing the true nature of life, etc. So that is called ignorance. If you do not know the truth, there will be a delusion in your mind, perplexity in your mind, or confusion in your mind. So that means, as a result of avijja, moha arise. But they are the same, same with a different name, If you do not know the truth, you have a delusion in your mind. I will give you another example. Avijja, ignorance is the cause, not knowing the truth is the cause. Moha, delusion is result, right? As a not knowing the truth, as a result of not knowing the truth, your mind will be deluded, right? You will be confused. So that means not knowing the truth. The moment you do not know the truth, your mind is deluded, right? Your mind is deluded. Suppose if you do not know, if you do not know akusala as a akusala, your mind is deluded. Not knowing is avijja, deluded mind. Deluded mind is moha. Same, the same thing, but different name. I will give you another example. This is very quite clear. Both Dhamma Nirodha in Pali, cessation of craving, and Dukkha Nirodha, cessation of suffering, are synonym of Nibbana. Sometimes Nibbana is used as a Dhamma Nirodha, cessation of craving. Sometimes the Buddha used Dukkha Nirodha, cessation of suffering. In the first sermon, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, right? Nibbana is used as a Dukkha Nirodha. Dukkha Nirodha is the third noble truth, right? The third noble truth. Sometimes, some people do not want to attain Nibbana. Even they say, I don't want to get Nibbana yet because I want to enjoy the life. I have heard some famous monk, they taught in that way. Right now, I don't want to attain Nibbana yet because I want to do many things for many people. I want to do volunteer job for many people. You know, some people do not want to attain Nibbana. It's not correct. Nibbana means Dukkha Nirodha, right? Cessation of suffering. If you attain Nibbana, you no longer have any suffering in your mind. You know? Isn't it good, right? It's a good thing. If you attain Nibbana, it's a good thing, right? But if we use the word Dhamma Nirodha, cessation of craving, we confuse, you know. We don't want to attain, you know. They are the same, you know. Dukkha Nirodha, when you use the word Dukkha Nirodha, very beautiful, actually, very beautiful. You want cessation of all suffering, right? It's positive one. Positive one. But when we say cessation of craving, we don't like. Because we have a lot of craving, right? In our mind. We have a lot of craving for family, craving for country, craving for money, craving for food, etc., right? We don't like it. Normally our mind do not like. But when we use the word Dukkha Nirodha, we like it. Oh, if I attain Nibbana, all the suffering will be cease, stop. Right? But both Dhamma Nirodha and Dukkha Nirodha refer to Nibbana. Same, you know? Same. So that means when you are craving a stop, all your suffering will stop. That is Nibbana is, right? That's Nibbana is. So here, I give the same example for cessation of craving is the cause. And cessation of suffering is result. But they refer to Nibbana, you know. Same meaning. Same meaning. Similarly, moha and avijja, same. But they have a different meaning. So, not knowing the truth is the cause. Because of that, you have a delusion in your mind, right? So delusion is it reset. But they refer to the same state of mind. The same state of mind. Here also you can see that, right? Cessation of craving, cessation of suffering refer to Nibbana. The same meaning, but the same meaning, but different meaning of what, right? Different meaning of what. So that is different between moha and avijja. So we can look at here. Dhamma Nirodha, cessation of craving, cessation of suffering refer to Nibbana. Both refer to Nibbana. But they are the same. They are the same. If you can stop your craving, you can stop your suffering. Normally we don't like the work. We don't want to stop craving, right? That's a problem. That's a problem. Therefore, our suffering does not stop, continue, right? That's called samsara. We call it samsara. We are going around, going around. So we need to stop our craving. So then only our suffering will stop. Here also the same thing. Not knowing the truth, it is avijja. Because of that, you have a delusion mind. You have a delusion or confusion, perplexity in your mind. Right? Okay. Then let's talk about a little bit further. What is the difference between moha and avijja? Avijja, we can call it latent nature. We can use the word latent nature because the Buddha used the word avijja or avijja when the Buddha is talking to underlying tendency, anussya. Avijja anussya. Underlying tendency. Normally we have an underlying tendency in our mind. When we have a chance, they will come up, they will pop up. That's the anussya. And when the Buddha talk about taints, so the Buddha used the word avijja. Avijja, we have three types of taints, right? Three types of taints. Three types of taints. The taints of sensual pleasures, and the taints of existence, the taints of ignorance. So, those taints, three taints, are latent in our mind throughout the samsara. So difficult to remove them. Only you become an arahant, you'll be able to remove them, right? Latent nature. Another one is hindrances, nivarana. When the Buddha talk about 5 hindrances, six hindrances. 6 hindrances. We have the avijja nivarana. So hindrances also a kind of latent nature, right? Latent nature. So when you talk about delusion, apparent nature, or manifestation, right? Manifestation in your mind, like a defilement. When you do not know akusala as a akusala, kusala as a kusala, your mind is defined, right? Your mind is deluded. It is apparent nature or manifestation in your mind, And also one of the 3 points is. Delusion is one of the points in our mind. And also the root of akusala. We are doing akusala and wholesome actions because of delusion. Our mind is deluded. Our mind is perplexed. So therefore we are doing unwholesome deed. In other words, because of avijja, delusion arises, right? Delusion arises. So they are synonym. Okay, any question? Okay. Before the question, may I talk about this a little bit further, because maybe after talking this, I think you may not need your question. You may not need. Let's see, because we need to know this one first. Moha or avijja can be defined as follows, according to, actually I will take it Sammaditthi Sutta. I will take a reference, Sammaditthi Sutta. According to the Sutta, not knowing a wholesome deed. Not knowing wholesome deed. If you do not know akusala as the akusala, that is moha. If you do not know kusala as a kusala, it is moha. It is moha. Number one. Number two, not knowing the truth of unwholesome and not knowing the truth of wholesome. Kusala mula and akusala mula. You think that lobha is good. That is moha. Many people think that, right? Having a lobha in your mind is good. Because of that, you're making a lot of money, right? When you are running a business, you need to have a lobha in your mind. Because of that, your business grow. That is a moha. You do not know lobha as unwholesome, right? Like that. Some people think that dosa is good. Dosa is good, right? Anyone would think? Because of dosa, you have a motivation in your mind. Dosa will motivate your step, right? Like that. Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, when you look at Mr. Lee Kuan Yew's speeches, full strength, right? Sometimes look like he's angry, like that, Some people may think that having dosa is good. That is moha, right? So any type of lobha dosa moha is not good, right? That is the truth. So here, not knowing the root of unwholesome and the root of wholesome is good. The last one is not knowing Four Noble Truth. If you do not know dukkha as a dukkha, that is moha. Actually, even the Buddhists, we have this moha, dukkha as a dukkha, anicca as a anicca, anatta as a anatta. If you do not know, that's moha, right? Moha. 3 levels. Number 1, if you do not know akusala as a akusala, kusala as a kusala, that is moha. If you do not know lobha dosa moha are not good. If you do not know alobha adosa amoha good, right? That is moha. And the last one, not knowing the Four Noble Truth, that is moha. Okay, question.
So Bhante, the 1, 2, 3 is it classified as avijja, ignorant? Your this point 1, 2, 3.
Or here, right?
Yeah.
Avijja.
So my question is, other than ignorant, the cause for moha, is there any other cause for moha other than ignorant?
Normally, ignorance is moha, right? Ignorance is moha. Because, as I earlier said, that cessation of craving, cessation of suffering, they are the same. We just give different name because of their function, right? Cessation of craving means its function is to stop craving, right? Cessation of suffering, its function is cessation of suffering. Similarly, even though we give different name, avijja and moha, right? Moha. And they are the same, synonym. You're asking...
other than this cause, is there any other cause outside of this ignorance?
I mean, my first question is, ignorance and delusion, they are the same, They are the same. If you do not know the truth, and delusion will be there. So therefore, we cannot differentiate between ignorance and delusion. Avijja and moha, same. As soon as you do not know the truth, your mind is deluded.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
So
is a positive cause and effect. A,
okay.
Because of A, B occur. My question is, other than A, Is there a C that cause B?
No, what I mean, I'm not quite.
You get my question?
I know. The first step, my question, actually, I will talk about two steps. The first one is, your question is wrong because ignorance and avijja and moha, they're the same, right? They're the same. There's no cause and effect. Actually, of course, I use the word cause and effect because for easy understanding, Normally they're the same, The moment you do not know the truth, your mind is deluded. Already there, right? Already there. But of course, we have the causes of avijja. Sometimes the Buddha said, nivarana, 5 hindrances are the cause of avijja. Sometimes the Buddha, actually, the cause of avijja are so many. Sometimes the Buddha said, how to say, the old age and death, right? Old age and death. So when you hear that you are going to die, then your mind is deluded. Right? You want to cry. And that is because of death. You hear the word death. Then your mind became deluded. Because of that delusion, you want to cry. You cannot accept that you're going to die, So that means there are many causes for the arising of avijja or moha, right? So my point here is moha and avijja are the same, Only the definition different, the meaning of the word is different. Avijja is not the cause, actually, not the cause, moha is not the effect. But what my explanation is, they are the same, but so it doesn't mean that they are separate one, But your question refers to avijja is the cause and moha is delusion as another cause. Okay, any question? No question, okay. Okay, then I will quote one sutta from Bdmv Sutta. So, in that sutta, the Buddha said that Bdmv Sutta and many other sutta, the Buddha said that bhikkhus, it is through not understanding. So here I analyze not understanding, not penetrating the Four Noble Truth that I, as well as you, had for a long time ran on and gone wrong, circle of birth and death, samsara, because of not understanding Four Noble Truths. We all are going around samsara. Not knowing me, avijja, avijja. Avijja is the cause of going around in samsara. But people might think that avijja is the first cause. People might think that avijja is the first cause of everything. No. The Buddha said that he cannot see the first cause of everything. So our samsara is beginningless. No beginning. You cannot see the beginning of your life, the beginning of this universe. So our life is beginningless. So if you think avijja is the first cause of everything, it's also wrong. In some sutta, the Buddha said that the cause of avijja sometimes taints. We have three types of taints, right? Sometimes nivarana. So, not knowing Four Noble Truths, it is ignorance or avijja. So here, wisdom is to be developed for abandoning delusion. If you want to abandon your delusion, deluded mind, you need to develop wisdom or understanding. So that means wisdom is opposite of delusion, moha. So therefore, we always say that moha is the root of all evil. So we are doing ahosandi because of moha, not knowing akusala, asya akusala. Opposite of avijja, ignorance is wisdom. The opposite of delusion also wisdom. Same thing, right? Same thing. Okay. Then I also want to quote two sutta. One is from Samyutta Nikaya, Magga Sanyutta. Another one is Vajja Sutta from Anguttara Nikaya. And then the Buddha said that bhikkhus, ignorance is the forerunner in the entry upon unwholesome states. So ignorance or delusion is forerunner in the entry upon unwholesome state. With the shamelessness, ahirika, and fearlessness of wrongdoing, anuttappa, following along. So here I want to show the last two, shamelessness and fearlessness of wrongdoing. So in the 40 akusala cetasika, right? So the first one is delusion, second one is shamelessness, and third one is fearlessness of wrongdoing. So therefore, suttas and Abhidhamma, they are connected, right? They are connected. They are not separate things. So when Abhidhamma says something, and we have the origin from the suttas. So when you look at this sutta, we can understand, right? So shamelessness and fearlessness of wrongdoing are universal and wholesome cetasika. So whatever type of unwholesome deed you do, then delusion or ignorance, shamelessness, fearlessness, wrongdoing will associate with, right? So therefore, they are universal cetasika. So that means ignorance is the beginning of forerunner of unwholesome, akusala, unwholesome state. And shamelessness and fearlessness, wrongdoing will follow at the same time. Then the Buddha said that for an unwise person immersed in ignorance, wrong view spring up. Miccha detti. So that means because of ignorance, wrong view arise. Because of wisdom, right view arise, right? So therefore, the opposite of ignorance is wisdom. For one of wrong view, wrong intention spring up. If you have a wrong view in your mind, your intention also will be wrong. Miccha sankappa. For one of the wrong intention, wrong speech spring up. If you have a wrong intention in your mind, wrong thought in your mind, and wrong speeches will spring up. Now we are talking about wrong Mecha Magga, right? Mecha Magga. For one of the wrong speech, wrong action spring up. For one of the wrong action, wrong livelihood spring up. For one of the wrong livelihood, wrong effort spring up. And for one of the wrong effort, wrong mindfulness will spring up. For one of the wrong mindfulness, wrong concentration will spring up. So it talk about the opposite of the Noble Eightfold Path, right? The Noble Eightfold Path. In Abhidhamma, later we'll see that in Abhidhamma, we don't have a wrong mindfulness according to Abhidhamma. But the Sutta say wrong mindfulness, right? Also, we also have a wrong concentration. Wrong concentration. If your concentration is wrong, then your knowledge also will wrong. Wrong knowledge, mecchanyana. When your knowledge is wrong, then you will have a wrong liberation of the mind, liberation of the mind. So here, my point here is I want to say that because of ignorance, wrong view spring up, right? But not ignorance alone. Shamelessness and fearlessness of wrongdoing. Two things will follow. So here, we talk about shamelessness, ahirika. Ahirika is the mental attitude of shamelessness to do unwholesome actions. Unwholesome actions. So you don't have any shame to do unwholesome deed. When it is in the mind, there's no self-respect. So when you want to do unwholesome deed, you don't have a self-respect. Lack of respect is the proximate cause for having shamelessness to do evil deed. Sometimes we tell lie, right? We tell lie because of shamelessness. You don't have a self-respect, you don't have a self-respect. If you have self-respect, you will not tell lie. So that means, oh, I am a Buddhist. I am a Buddhist. I should keep 5 precepts. If I tell lie, then I'm breaking 5 precepts. Then you respect as a Buddhist yourself, right? Because of that, you no longer tell lie. So therefore, self-respect is, lack of self-respect is the proximate cause to do unwholesome deed, right? To have a shamelessness in your mind. So you can see, I will give you a picture. I think it talk about shamelessness, right? They are parliament members fighting. By that time, they don't have a shame in their mind, They have a shamelessness in their mind. They don't have a self-respect that we are parliament members, right? Parliamentarians. How you call it? You call it parliamentarian, right? Or parliamentarian. Parliamentarians. They don't have a self-respect. So therefore, they are fighting in the parliament. You know which country? No need to know. One of the countries in the Europe, Also, I think Taiwan, India, quite often, Taiwan also, they regret because they don't have a self-respect. So therefore, I think we are very rare, right? In Singapore, in British, especially British, right? Their parliament is very active and regular. but we rarely hear they are fighting, right? We don't hear. Self-respect. They don't have shamelessness in their mind. They have a shame in their mind, right? It's not good to fight each other in the parliament. So, sometimes people quarrel at home, right? Loudly, sometimes it happens, right? Shouting each other loudly because of shamelessness. Because by that particular moment, your mind is deluded. You have shamelessness and fearlessness of wrongdoing because of you quarreling and blaming each other loudly, right? By that time, you don't have self-respect. So that is unwholesome. It's unwholesome. Unwholesome universal, right? Unwholesome universal. Then I want to quote one sutta in Ambalatika Raulawara Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 61. So in that sutta, the Buddha taught to little Rahula, Samanera, 7 years old. He ordained as a Samanera, 7 years. And he's a very good guy, he's a very good child. He always listened to, obedient to monks. Wherever say something, he will listen carefully and respectfully. Then, after ordination, he went from Kapilavatthu to Rajagaha, Rajagaha. Rajagaha is a very big city. He lived in the Viluwana monasteries. Many people came. And people who want to listen to Dhamma talk, they will go to Viluwana monastery. The monks who want to meditate quietly, they will go to another monasteries called Ambalatika. In English, mango tree monasteries. Mango monastery, mango tree monastery, because there are so many mango in that place. Quiet and remote to people. Those who want to meditate, they will go to Ambalatika monasteries. The Buddha also praised the monks who go and meditate there. The Buddha praised them. It's good to go to quiet place and meditate. Then a young little Rahula, he hear that the Buddha praise monks and Samanera who go and meditate there. He know that. Then he also went. The Buddha praised him. So therefore, after eating, then he will go to Ambalatika monastery and stay there, hoping that. And the Buddha will say, "Oh, Rahula, very good kind, very good Samanera," hoping that, The Buddha knew that. The Buddha can read his mind. And after eating, the Buddha go there. And when the Buddha approach, Rahula prays. And Rahula will prepare the water pot. Normally, by that time, monks do not wear the slippers or shoes. So when they are going to a monastery, before they enter the monastery, they need to wash their feet. They need to wash their feet. So normally they put, water pot nearby. Then when the Buddha approached, Rahula prepare scoop the water and give it to the Buddha. Actually, the Buddha is supposed to wash his feet, right? And the Buddha, throw some of the water. Rahula Do you see that? There is a little water in the cup. Yes, Bhante. Like that. When a monk and Samanera is telling a lie, so he have a little manhood, little, how to say, we can say if a man tell a lie, then there is only a little, how to say, I forgot how to use in English. So we can call as a monk just a little bit, just a little bit. And the Buddha threw all the water from the cup. Rahula, do you see that? There's no water in the cup. Yes, Bhante. Just like that. If a man is telling a lie, so there is nothing to call as a monk, nothing to call as a monk. And the Buddha turned the cup upside down, upside down. Rahula, do you see? The cup is kept upside down. Similarly, if a man is telling a lie, deliberate lie, then the practice of Maho is upside down, upside down. And the Buddha turned the cup again. Rahula, do you see that? Do you see this empty cup? Empty cup. Yes, Bhante. Similarly, if a monk or Samanera is telling a lie, nothing inside, empty. So the Buddha wants to highlight the importance of shamelessness here, not to tell lie. So this is a quotation from the Sutta. Rahula, when one is not ashamed to tell a deliberate lie, there is no evil, I say that one would not do. One would not do. So that means if a monk is not ashamed, so that means in his mind, shamelessness, ahirika. If there is ahirika in his mind, and he will tell lie. He will tell lie. So here, when one is not ashamed to tell deliberate lie, there is no evil, I say that one will not do. So therefore, Rahula, you should train this. I will not utter a falsehood, even as a joke. Even as a joke. Sometimes we utter a joke, which is not correct, right? Which is not correct. So as a monk, we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that. The Buddha said, even as a joke. After hearing your joke, then other people will laugh, right? Will like it and will be happy. Even such a one, we shouldn't tell, the Buddha said. Therefore, Rahula, you should train that. I will not utter a falsehood, even as a joke. Even as a joke. So the reason is, Rahula himself is deceiving, right? Deceiving himself, He doesn't want to meditate actually. He wants to get appraisal from the Buddha. If he go to Ambalatika monastery, the Buddha will praise him. Therefore he go. The Buddha said, no, he's telling a lie, shouldn't do that. Okay, so here, when you look at this sutta, you can see that not ashamed, not ashamed. That is shamelessness. When somebody tell lie, so that means there is shamelessness in the mind. Shamelessness in the mind. So this one is not ashamed, shamelessness. So therefore, wherever akusala karma you have delusion in your mind, you have a shamelessness, and another one is fearlessness of wrongdoing. No tapa. fearlessness of wrongdoing, anotapa is the mental attitude of fearlessness to commit any evil deed. You don't have any fear to do unwholesome deed, right? Unwholesome deed. When it is in the mind, there is no respect for others. You don't have a respect to your family, friends, colleagues, neighbors, country. And also there is no fear or consequences of evil deed. Evil deed. So that means shamelessness arises because of lack of respect, self-respect. You have a fearlessness of wrongdoing because you don't respect to other people, right? Suppose you are shouting other people because of this fearlessness of wrongdoing. You don't respect to that person, right? Suppose you go to other country representing Singapore. Normally you will control your mind, right? Your mind and body, because you respect your country. If I do something wrong, it will affect to my country, right? Respect to the country. Like ministers, they go to other country and they behave in a nice way. If you behave in a wrong way, then fearlessness of wrongdoing, right? They do not have a respect to the country. Also family, if I do something wrong, it will affect to my family, right? So respect to the family. So therefore I will control. If I do this, then it will be affected to my family, right? So therefore you are faithful to your husband or wife because of fearless, because you have a fear, right? Fear of doing wrong things because you respect to your family. And also, when you have a fearlessness of wrongdoing and no tapa in your mind, there is no fear or consequences or evil deed. So you don't care whatever happened, after that. Okay, any question up to now? No question, huh? Okay, the next one is restlessness, otecha. Restlessness makes the mind unsteady as wind makes the flag ripple, as the wind makes the flag shake. Restlessness. If it is in the mind, we cannot see things as they really are. Right? As they really are. Right? Shaking. Like that. When it is shaking, then the vision will be blurred, right? Like that. So when restlessness in our mind, unsteady, you will not see things as they really are. So it is opposite of concentration. Opposite of concentration. Samadhi. Samadhi is a concentration. Breathlessness is one of the hindrances in meditation. So the very first attempt of meditation is to reduce the amount of breathlessness. So normally our mind is restless, so therefore we use one object. So in that way, by using that one object, then we're trying to reduce the amount of restless mind. So thereby one will be able to establish mindfulness and concentration and see things as they really are. We are meditating because the main reason is to see the real nature of Nama Rupa. That will be the biggest and main reason, right? Main reason. Okay, so this one is easy. Then we'll go to next one, Lobha, greed. Lobha. Actually, I have already talked about this one, right? Lobha. When I talk about akusala citta, maybe still remember, right? Lobha is like a super glue. It grabs the object family. Object family. Normally, it's agreeable object, right? When you see agreeable object, then your mind grabs to that. Opposite of lobha is letting go, right? Letting go. You see agreeable object, you do not have any grasping, just let go, just let go. Similarly, when you hear pleasant sound, normally people grabs, right? Trying to grasp it. So those who do not have a lobha, they hear the voice, they hear the pleasant sound, they know it is pleasant sound, but they do not take it, they do not grasp it. So they can let go, right? They can let go. Greed, lobha. Sometimes lust, sometimes craving, sometimes clinging, sometimes left, like that. Left with the stream attached or attachment. So they are interchangeably used in the Pali Canon. With me, they are the same. They're the same. Of course, there is some a little different. So lobha is the original suffering. I think many of you know, right? The original suffering. Because of lobha to our body, right? Lobha to our body. Attachment to our body. Because of that, when something happens, we worry, we worry that, I'm going to die like that, right? You have a lobha to your family, right? If one of your family members, something happen, worry arise. So lobha is the original suffering. Suffering will arise. It is second-order truth. So regarding with the original suffering, normally what we understand is lobha, right? Lobha. Lobha is normally we take according to Abhidhamma. Abhidhamma say the original suffering is lobha, right? Lobha. But not just lobha, There are many other things. The original suffering and more than that. So therefore I want to quote Vibhanga text. Second Abhidhamma text, Vibhanga. In English, we call it the book of analysis. The book of analysis. So this is important text in Abhidhamma, 7 Abhidhamma texts. So Vibhanga mentioned different degree of the original suffering. So the first one is craving. Another one is lobha. Lobha is the original suffering. Original suffering. The second definition said that the remaining defilements in the mind. Remaining defilements. CMA, we have a 10 type of defilements in our mind. You can see CMA 269. We have a 10 type of defilement in our mind. Moha. Sometimes our suffering arises because of moha, because of dosa, because of lobha, etc. We have a 10 type of defilements in our mind. So that means lobha alone is not the original suffering, right? 10 defilements, kilesa. So they are the original suffering. Another one, the remaining unwholesome state. The remaining unwholesome state means not only 10 lobha, not only 10 defilements, and also we have a 12 akusala chaita, right? 12 akusala chaitas, including dosa, right? 8 lobha mula, 2 dosa mula, and 2 moha mula. So the remaining unwholesome state are the original suffering. Then, number 4 definition is getting wider. 3 wholesome roots that are object of the taints. Object of the taints. We have a 4 taints according to Abhidhamma, but according to many sodas, with only 3 taints, right? 3 taints. So here, Abhidhamma said that 3 wholesome roots are lobha, are dosa, are moha. Normally, we know that alobha, adosa, amoha are good, right? It's good. But 3 wholesome roots that are object or taints. Object or taints. Right? Object or taints. Sometimes, object or taints, right? Object or taints. So second taint is the taints of existence, right? The taints of existence. The taints of existence. We have a 31 planes of existence. Suppose you have a compassion in your mind and help many people, do donation because of compassion, right? Compassion. And you want to, as a result of that dana, you want to go to heaven. Heavenly existence, right? Heavenly existence. So you are doing good deed because of alobha, right? Alobha means you don't have an attachment to your property, right? Because of that, you do dana. You do dana because of alobha. But in your mind, you want to be born in heavenly realm. Heavenly realm. So that means your alobha is object of taints. The taints of existence, right? The taints of existence. You learn that if you practice compassion, if you practice loving kindness to other beings, you have a good rebirth. You have a good rebirth after life. Because of that, full of compassion and loving kindness, you are helping other people. Right? You are doing this good deed because of the taints of existence. Right? You want to go to a better place after life. So you are compassion, loving kindness. In other words, it's called adosa, right? Adosa. Your adosa is tainted with the existence, right? Existence. So such type of alobha adosa are the original suffering. Even, of course, you will go to heaven, then there are some deva who are higher than you, who are brighter than you, who are more richer than you. You see them, wow. I did a little kusala and they do, or they are very higher than me. I have to pay respect like that, right? You feel angry. You have a jealousy in your mind. There is a jealous mind is suffering, right? There is you are hosanti, you are alobha, adosa, amoha, are the original suffering, right? So therefore, Vibhangata said that 3 wholesome roots that are object of the taints are the original suffering. So therefore, when we are doing good deed, so it is important not to have the taints in our mind. Taints mean the taints of sensual pleasure, the taints of existence, the taints of ignorance, right? It's important not to have taints in your mind. When you're doing dana, do it with the liberated mind. You know? Just see recipients or the need of your donation, right? Then you just share with the free mind, you know? Free mind. And when you are observing sila, you know the purpose of observing sila, right? Sila. Why I am refraining from killing sentient being, right? We have to know that if you refrain from killing, other people will be benefited, right? Benefited, not for your good deed, you know. If I refrain from killing, then I will get a good deed. No, it's a taint, huh? Together with the craving, like that. Then you do meditation. If I meditate every morning, then my family will respect me. Right? You want respect from your family. You know, to get respect, also a kind of loba, right? Kind of loba. So your meditation is not pure, not pure. You meditate because you want to develop mindfulness and concentration. And you want to know the real nature of your mind and body, right? So in that way, your good deed, your amoha, you know, will not be the object of taints. So therefore here, you know, wholesome root, alopa, adosa, moha, they are good, right? They are good. But if they are tainted, so that means they will be the original suffering. The original suffering, right? Another one is number 5, the remaining wholesome state that are object of the taints. Not only alopa, adosa, moha, but also wholesome actions. That means doing dana, observing sila, doing meditation, right? Meditation. When those wholesome deeds are tainted with the taints of sensual pleasure, the taints of existence, the taints of ignorance, then it will be the original suffering. Many people do good deeds. Some people do good deeds, expecting that their business will grow. They do, right? Many kinds of good deeds. Many people. Even though they do good deed, the business does not grow. The original suffering, right? The original suffering. So that is if you want to grow your business, right? You have to do your business in a good attitude and with the effort, right? Etc. So some people, they go to pagoda and they do some good deed, hoping that their business will grow. It's not the right way, right? They're doing good deed, but so their good deed is object of the taints, right? Object of the taints. So therefore, when you look at Vibhanga text, so there the original suffering can be defined, right? Not just loba, not just loba. And also even the good things, even the good deed, right? If you are doing good deed, expecting existences, one of the 31 planes of existences, expecting some of the material property, right? So that will be the original suffering, you know, the original suffering. Suppose I say one devotee, if you offer maybe 1,000 to our temple, your business will grow. Your business will grow. If I say, then that person follow and do donation to the temple, 1,000. Then business not growing, right? He will blame to me, or even to the temple. Then I follow your advice. Why my business do not grow? I'm happy, right? The original suffering. Donating 1,000 to the temple is a good deed, right? Good deed. But that good deed is tainted with the craving. Business growing, right? So therefore, even sometimes we are doing good deed, then that will be the original suffering. If it is together with the taints, Therefore, it's very important. Okay. Any question up to now? Okay, here.
Good afternoon, Bhante. My question seems to here on the 10. So like those people, as you know, Singapore, people need to, end of the year need to pay income tax. And there's a certain threshold they need to pay extra tax. So those individuals doing donation because they want to have a tax rebate. But they want donation to those like elderly home and those needy organizations. So it's considered as a 10 with some. Because they don't want to give it to the government. I think this money to give it to organizations to help those other people.
Actually, I also heard that some people, they donate some amount of money. Suppose if they donate 1,000, they don't need to pay for 1,000 tax, right? If they donate 1 million, so they don't need to pay lesser, right? If they donate 1 million, they don't need to pay tax for 1 million, like that? No.
If you donate 1 million,
okay.
This 1 million is exempted from income, depending on the tax rate. So your amount of tax paid is lesser, not equivalent to 1 million. It's not 1 for 1. Say your tax rate is 10%.
Okay.
You donate 1 million.
1 million me?
Yeah. 10% of 1 million.
10% of 1 million, you will be exempted.
You don't have.
You have an exemption.
10%, not the 1 million.
I see. I think it depends on that individual, and then suppose you're a businessman, then you think that Mangala Vihara is very grateful to you, and this is a good place for you, and you donate a bit, so 1 million. 1 million to Mangala Vihara, let's say. So it depends on how you intend to, right? Intend to. If you want, tax exemption, right? Tax exemption for 1 million. So actually, there's that will not be not correct way, not correct way. So therefore, instead of paying to the government, so you offer 1 million to the Mangala Vihara. Maybe one thing I would say that suppose in your mind you want to donate 1 million to Mangala Vihara. That is earlier thinking. But later, at the end of the year, you have to pay the tax, income tax. Then you think that, earlier I also planned to donate 1 million, then if I donate 1 million this time, I will get tax exemption, the exemption. That's also a kind of maybe, no? How to say, kind of expectation, kind of craving, kind of craving, right? It depends on your intention, right? Intention. You don't want to, you want to get, 10% of tax exemption. It's hard to say. It's very bad, We cannot say, right?
Give it to government will do something else. So since you need to pay the tax, I use this money to give it to those really needy organizations. So in that case, I will give it to like Mangala Vihara or give to those elderly home.
Yeah, elderly home and.
But I still enjoy the tax relief. It's considered tip to. In that case, good thing. But I also want to get the relief.
It is government rule, right? It's okay, it's the rule, right? The government give you the chance to enjoy that, that right, I think. Should be okay. It's hard to say it's a taste, right? Taste, so 3 types of taste, Type of taste. The taste of sensual pleasure, right? Of course, we can, if you really crave for that 10% tax exemption, and then it's hard to say. It depends on how you think, right? How you think. At the same time, you have the right to enjoy that right, right? So there's also, it's hard to say. So therefore, Dana has 2 levels. One is giving. Giving, sometimes expecting something, sometimes not. Higher one, another one is called chaga, right? You freely give away. You don't have any expectation, any hidden agenda in your mind, right? You just give, right? But it also right to enjoy that right, right? 10% or. Okay, any question? No question, right? No question. I think maybe I will explain 2 examples for this, because 2 examples for this. Earlier example is clear in there, right? Sometimes we do good deed, expecting going to heaven, going to Brahma Ram, right? Brahma Ram. You do good deed. Because of craving for heavenly realm, craving for Brahma realm, you do good deed, right? You do good deed. Then when you go to heavenly realm, of course you will enjoy the sensual pleasures. When you go to Brahma realm, you will enjoy the jhana pleasure. But you will be going around samsara, right? You might become as a man, as a human being, even as an animal, right? Even you may go to hell, right? You will suffer. So that means craving for going to heaven, the Brahma realm, because of that you do good deed. So that good deed is the original suffering, Even having this physical body is the original suffering, right? The original suffering. Because this body, this mind, subject to nature, right? Impermanence. So that is one, the taints of existence, right? The taints of existence. And the taints of sensual pleasure, right? The taints of sensual pleasures. I think some people, they want to become so rich, right? They want to enjoy life. Because of that, they try hard, even at the risk of their head. Even at the risk of their head, they try. They suffer, right? That means the taints of sensual pleasures is the original. Trying hard, doing business is good, right? It's good. But you have so much influence or craving, to become rich, many, like that, right? Because of that, you risk your health, you risk your social life, etc., right? At the end of the day, of course, you become rich, but you are not happy, right? You're not happy. You don't have any balance between money and family life, and also your good health, right? Then, because of that, the taints of sensual pleasures, you try, right? You try. So therefore, even though it is some things are very good, right? If you have too much, taint for sensual pleasures, that will be the original suffering. The original suffering. Oh, another one is the original ignorance, right? Ignorance. Of course, ignorance is not knowing, right? Not knowing. Because of that, it will be the original suffering. So therefore, we already learned. So next week I will repeat 3 types of craving. We have a different level of craving, right? So we need to understand that. Otherwise, people will blame that Buddhism is negative, Buddhism always say Buddhism is pessimistic, like that, right? It's not like that. Buddhism will say, the truth, the reality. Whether you want to follow or not, it's up to you, right? Okay, so today, that's all. So Teacher Lily, any announcement? No, okay. Yo varatam pavaro manu jesu sakyamuni bhagava gata kecho paragato palawiriya samangi dan sukatan sara natamu pemi raga viraga maninja masokan Dhamma masanga Dhamma patikulan Madura mambaguna suvipadan Dhamma mimansaranata mupemi Yata chari namaha palamahu Chatu sisu buddhisa yugesu Atacha bogala dhammadasate Sangami mansara natamu pemi. Satu. Thank you.